It's that time of the year where we talk about each bad WWE PLE that happened in the last decade from 2015 to today. So in my last video, I did talk about how WrestlePalooza was such a garbage PLE, and I stand by that. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about each single bad PLE from 2015 to 2025. And let's talk about it. It's going to be a long video, so stick with me on this. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to still reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025, so please make it happen. Anyways, let's start the video. Okay, so from my pick for 2015 is going to be the Royal Rumble. I'm going to be honest, I did not enjoy this pay-per-view one bit. There were some standout matches with John Cena versus Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins in that triple threat match. I'll agree, that match is a banger, but I feel like it's a standalone match on that PLE, or pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. But other than that, the Royal Rumble match, it's okay at best. I don't really like it. The ending, I don't like it. Even with The Rock's help, it's not helping the case that this is a bad match and they chose Roman Reigns, even though at the time he was the most hated wrestler ever. Well, not the most hated, but you get what I mean, because the audience were not on his side, and you could tell by the clips I'm going to show you. And for the clips you just saw, yeah, they were booing him straight up. They did not want that guy to win the Royal Rumble because at the time, Daniel Bryan, he was still the hottest wrestler. So everybody had Daniel Bryan to win the Royal Rumble, but they picked Roman Reigns and the audience did not like that one bit. And I don't blame them. But other than that, I have nothing else to say about it. But we're going to move on to 2016. Okay, so for my pick for 2016, the worst PLE that year is going to go to Fastlane. I'm be honest, I don't really care about this show. It's okay, I just don't find myself to watch it. Now I will agree, Fastlane did have some good qualities. We got Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose. That was a great match, I'll give it that. I really enjoyed that one. It was a great main event. There are also some more matches that I did like on the card, like AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. Those are fire matches, but other than that, it just feels kind of a weak build to WrestleMania 32. I didn't find myself to like it, but we're gonna move on to 2017. Okay, so for my pick for 2017 for the worst pay-per-view is gonna go to Battleground 2017. I don't know what to think of this. The main event between Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton in a Pujami Prison match for the WWE Championship, it just doesn't stick right. When you watch the match, first of all, you could barely see the ring due to the bamboo, even though it's steel, covering the ring. You can't see anything. Even if you're there, you still can't see anything. The Great Khali returning did not help the match at all. The only match I did like on there was John Cena versus Rusev in a flag match. That was a fire match. But AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens, I did not like. For the rest of the card, it was okay. The main event, it was trash. I'm not going to talk much more about it because I feel I'm going to get heated the more I talk about it. But we're going to move on to 2018. Okay, so for my pick for 2018, and everybody saw this coming, is going to go to Crown Jewel. I think this one's kind of obvious, but I'm still going to talk about it. The main event between DX and the Brothers of Destruction was 20 years a little too late. They were out of their prime. They were not in their prime anymore. The matches have some botches. Everyone was messing up because everybody's old. They did not need to take Shawn Michaels out of retirement to do that match. And it was the worst match on the card. And then we got the WWE World Cup. Now, the World Cup is a football event that has different nations playing against each other. But the World Cup isn't a World Cup at all because it was just filled participants who were all Americans. And the winner was Shane McMahon. That was one of the most stupid things that I've ever seen WWE do. Okay, not gonna talk about it because you already guessed what's the problem with it. But let's move on to 2019, and I got a lot to talk about it. Okay, so for my pick for 2019 as the worst PLE / pay-per-view for that year is gonna go to two things: WWE Super Showdown and Hell in a Cell. Let's start with Super Showdown. Now, the Undertaker versus Goldberg match specifically was one of the worst dream matches that I've ever seen WWE do. It was just random botches. Like every time they do a move, it botches. The crowd was just uninterested in it. This match was straight up awful. If they were in their prime, this match could have been a little bit better. But since we were not in their prime, and of course it was in Saudi Arabia, obviously, it was not going to be good. Alright, let's move on to Hell in a Cell. Now, that main event between Seth Rollins and The Fiend in that Hell in a Cell match for the Universal Championship was so bad. I'm literally about to get mad just talking about it. This match was such a train wreck. That match had a red cage. Well, they had a red cage previously, but that's not the point. The point is they had a red cage, red lighting, so you couldn't even see what's happening in the ring. But the thing that makes me so frustrated about it is that they had a DQ and a Hell in a Cell match, when normally a Hell in a Cell match doesn't have DQs. It's specifically no disqualification. But the ref counted it as a disqualification just because Seth Rollins hit the Fiend with a sledgehammer and a toolbox and other stuff. That makes no sense, and that was one of the worst PLE matches that I've ever seen that year. And that's saying something, because there are more bad shows on 2019, but I just want to choose these two specifically because these suck so bad. But let's move on to 2020. Okay, so for my pick for 2020 as the worst PLE that year is going to go to Super Showdown. Again, now hear me out on this part. This show was so garbage. It's so bad, I don't think they even need to put this on anymore, and I'm glad they stopped doing that, because here, Goldberg versus The Fiend. Come on, that match was short, and Goldberg didn't even need to win that match. The Fiend could have held on to the title at WrestleMania, then lose it. That would kind of make more sense to me. But Goldberg, he didn't even need that title. Why does old Goldberg need that Universal title? Even though he already won it before, what is he needed for again? And then the Saudi Arabia shows, obviously, this was like before the whole pandemic thing happened. And this was so bad. Other matches like the Trophy Gauntlet, I didn't think that even need to be on the show. That was just straight up garbage. And now, before I talk more about this, because there is more to talk about, but I'm just going to keep this short, let's move on to 2020. Okay, so for my pick for 2021 for the worst PLE, is going to go to WrestleMania Backlash. I don't know what to think of this. It's just such a weak show. The matches, well, specifically the match between The Miz and Damian Priest and a zombie lumberjack match. I'm watching that straight up like, what the hell am I watching? Because that kind of made no sense, because it looked like they were trying to promote something more than a lumberjack match. That didn't need to be on the card. You know what, scratch that. That didn't even need to be a match. We did not need to see that. And then I will say the only good match of the card, my opinion, was Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. My opinion, I think it's a great match. But other than that, I don't like it. Let's move on to 2022. So for my pick for the worst PLE of 2022 is going to go to the Royal Rumble. I don't know what to think about this. The only good match on the card, which I think is good, is Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. That was the only redeeming quality for that show. The other matches felt okay, just straight up garbage. The men's Royal Rumble match specifically. The women's Royal Rumble match, it was okay at best, to be honest. I didn't think Ronda Rousey needed to win that match. I'll tell you that straight up. She did not need to win that match. Anyone else could have won it. I'm not gonna say who. Sasha Banks. But the men's Royal Rumble match was so bad, I literally almost turned off the TV because it was that bad. Specifically, why did Brock Lesnar need to win the match? He already defended his WWE Championship against Bobby Lashley earlier in the show and he lost. Why does he need to go back into the Rumble and then just get himself another match, another championship match for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania at the time? But still, this was such a bad PLE looking back at it. At first, I didn't think it was bad, but looking back at it now, it was so bad. But let's move on to 2023. Okay, so for my pick for 2023, in my opinion, is going to go to Fastlane. Now, I'm going to be honest, this is a mid-show at best. The only good match I think was on the card was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins in that last man standing match. That was a banger match. They actually did put on a great match that I actually did enjoy. The other matches, I feel like they were okay at best. They're a little too long. Some of them were a little rushed. But other than that, I actually did like this PLE. But I'll be honest, it's nothing I will look to come back to. I'm going to tell you that straight up. And this is coming from a WWE fan. But let's move on to 2024. And this is going to be a tough choice. Now, for my pick for 2024 as the worst PLE, is going to go to Money in the Bank. Now, some people may say Bash in Berlin is a bad PLE, but I'm going to tell you this, it's not a bad PLE. It's actually a pretty good PLE. But for a bad one, I'm going to tell you straight up, it's Money in the Bank. Now, first off, that main event between the Bloodline was kind of bad. I feel like that did not need to be the main event. It was okay at best. The crowd, it's Toronto. it's not gonna be good. The crowd was kind of uninterested. But some of the matches, they were okay at best. I like the women's Money in the Bay match. That one I actually did enjoy. But same with the men's one. Okay, so as I was editing this video, I just realized that the worst PLE for 2024 was Survivor Series due to its weak card, but I don't feel like changing it, so I just want to leave a side note here for you guys. And with Drew McIntyre cashing in on Seth Rollins and Damian Priest match, that felt a little unnecessary. Like, why did they need to do that? So they just wasted a Money in the Bank briefcase. That to me kind of made just no sense at all, and I didn't like it. But let's move on to 2025. And I'm gonna tell you this, I already talked about this in the last video, but this one is gonna be a different PLE and not WrestlePalooza. Okay, last but not least on this, for the worst PLE of 2025 is gonna go to WrestleMania. Now I'm pretty sure this is pretty obvious because the show was so bad, poorly booked, and the main event for night 2 between John Cena and Cody Rhodes was poorly booked also. It was supposed to be an awesome dream match, and I thought it was going to be very good, but when the match happened, it just kind of felt odd. Like, it wasn't being good as some people thought it was going to be good. Now, I was happy John Cena did win the 17th title. I'm still happy about it to this day, but the match, looking back at it now, was not good. And for some reason, Travis Scott out of all people came in and tried to help Cena. Oh my god, why did they put Travis Scott on? I don't know what I'm thinking about. Okay, back to the point. The point is, this show sucks. There are some standout matches like main event night 1 between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. That was pretty good. That Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship match, that was pretty good. There are also some more that I can't name at this moment, but are also very good, that I very enjoy. But other than that, this show sucks. Before I end this video, I just want to say these are my thoughts and my opinions. And you don't like them, you can just tell me in the comments, or I'll possibly ignore it. That's it. And then, anyways, don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. Can we please make it happen? Just like, subscribe, or you get a cookie, and boom. So, see you in the next video. Peace.